everybody. This is Becca with Empowering Pumps and Equipment. I'm very excited to have Adrian Messer with us with SDT Ultrasound Solutions. Adrian, introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, sure. It's a pleasure to be here, Becca. I'm Adrian Messer. I'm the U.S. Operations Manager for SDT Ultrasound Solutions. So I'm pretty much responsible for everything that happens with the SDT in the United States. So I'm having a lot of fun. It's an exciting time to be with SDT and to be involved with ultrasound technology. And I've been in the industry since 2003. So one of the fun things about what I do is I get to go out into a lot of different plants, facilities, and see a lot of cool processes and how things are made. So just really enjoy being in the field and just really enjoy being a resource for people. And hopefully, if I can't help them with ultrasound, at least be able to point them in the right direction.
I love it, and we love having you in the field and seeing you all over the place.
Thank you.
So, we're talking about EASA, and with EASA obviously coming up, their theme is powering the future. How do you see diagnostic technologies like ultrasound evolving to meet the changing needs of the electromechanical service industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I mentioned that it's a fun time to be in the industry, and it is because, as you know, we're in the middle of kind of a paradigm shift in the way that we think about asset maintenance and asset condition monitoring because of all the new technologies with AI, machine learning, and IIoT. So it's just a fun time, and it's exciting that SDT and ultrasound technology is a part of that in that we have sensors that can 24/7 monitor and send data to these various types of AI platform technologies that are out there. So and because ultrasound is very, very early up on the P to F curve, where once you have a potential problem, ultrasound is the first technology that will identify that problem. It makes ultrasound become kind of the data part of it be a leading indicator of a potential problem, even above other traditional technologies that have kind of dominated the bearing and rotating equipment space.
That is pretty cool. And to think that it is that like first step is what you said, but then it's not something that you really have heard a lot about throughout recent years.
Yeah. And then, we have new products called the Lube Expert On Guard, which combine that same sensor that does the 24/7 bearing monitoring. And then we've tied in single point automatic lubricators. So, if you look at any study on why bearings fail, the top four failure modes for bearing failures are lubrication related. So, using ultrasound, we can eliminate the top four failure modes of those bearings because we are more precisely lubricating the bearing. We're not over or under lubricating the bearing. And then through the use of the single point lubricator, we're using the same grease every single time. And then we've eliminated contamination because everything is contained within that single point lubricator.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Well, I mean, we touched on it obviously a little bit with that, but can you discuss a little bit more about, how predictive maintenance using ultrasound is transforming that traditional service model?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I mentioned kind of some traditional technologies that have kind of dominated the motor and the bearing condition monitoring space, like vibration analysis. And I can remember early on in my career, some of the hardest people to get in front of to talk to about using ultrasound for bearings and motor testing and lubrication were, your I just call them all salty, vibe analysts that have been doing it for 20, 30 years. And I mean, rightly so. I mean, they're experts at it, they're really good at it. But then fast forward to today, and some of the best users of our technology are people with extensive vibration backgrounds. So, one, it's been rewarding for us as a company to see the acceptance of ultrasound within the vibration community. And then, when it comes to, the acceptance of the technology, we've got a range of products that are what I consider to be entry level, mechanic friendly, technician friendly troubleshooters that you could put in the hands of any mechanic, any tech, and they can go out and easily identify problems. And then, there's more diagnostic type tools that basically take you from, okay, we know that there's a problem to now we know what the problem is. So we're able to identify, bearing fault frequencies like inner race, outer race, ball pass, looseness. So it's great to see that ultrasound has become that more diagnostic type tool.
Yeah, and just helping the people in the field, which is obviously very important.
That's right. Yep.
So, what advancements has SDT made in making ultrasound technology more accessible and usable for the everyday maintenance and service?
Yeah, so I mentioned vibration analysis, and don't get me wrong, we as a company, we're all about understanding what the challenges are, what the most common failure modes are, what's eating their lunch, what their problem children are, so to speak. So we're all about solutions. So whether that be ultrasound or vibration or whatever. So again, just having that range of product to where we go into a lot of plants that aren't currently doing any kind of condition monitoring. So ultrasound is typically a good fit in those kinds of environments because I don't have to be a level 2 or level 3 vibe analyst to be able to utilize ultrasound technology. So the learning curve is much shorter, and then the versatility of ultrasound, because the same tool that we use for bearing condition monitoring can be the same tool that we use for compressed air leak detection or valve inspection or steam traps or pump cavitation. So traditionally, that's what a lot of people like about the technology is we can use it for more than just one application.
Yeah, not having too many things in your toolbox.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And the learning curve. I think that's a good point to note of you don't have to, be higher up to be able to use this technology and understand it. And I think that is important as well, especially knowing that there's, newer people coming to the industry and
Right.
knowing there's technology out there that is able to help them without having to have, a super technical background.
That's right. Yeah. And yeah, we are to that point about, new people coming into the workforce. We're still kind of in that era of, a lot of people are reaching kind of that retirement age. So we're losing a lot of knowledge, but in turn, with the newer generation of workforce coming in, they are more receptive to technology, doing things in a more advanced way as opposed to being reactive or, maybe not comfortable with technology. So, yeah, it's kind of a two-edged sword. We're losing a lot of knowledge, but yet we're getting workers in that have grown up with computers and cell phones and iPad, so a lot of people are just more receptive to technology and doing things in a different, more proactive way.
Oh yeah, they're gonna pick it up like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Adrian, why don't you tell us what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn every day. I love checking out LinkedIn and following, news that's going on in industrial manufacturing and the maintenance and reliability field. So I would encourage you to look me up on LinkedIn and connect with me. I'm also on the board of directors for SMRP, the Society for Maintenance and Reliability Professionals. So I'm active there. So if you have any questions about SMRP, I would welcome and entertain those. And my contact information is just my first name dot last name at sdtultrasound.com, and would welcome hearing from you out in the field and connecting with me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and definitely make sure that if you're at EASA to check them out. And if not, then Adrian just gave you all the other outlets that you can connect. And
Yep.
thank you so much, Adrian, for your time. I'm looking forward to EASA.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. See you there.